I'm here with Semmler from the good studio, or the bad studio as James calls it. How's it going, man?
As well, man, as well. Just getting here into the WCS event. Just looking forward to it. You actually caught me as I was walking through the door, though, so it's still a mystery. I've yet to find out how exactly it is going, but it's always good.
Well, I could give you a few spoilers if you're up for it.
Go for it, man. Go for it. Fill me in.
Alright, in the Danish Nationals, FXO's Baby Knight took it pretty convincingly. Yeah. I think he 2-0'd, and in the Nordic Nationals, Snoot got eliminated, so he didn't even get to the grand.
I heard about that upset. Kind of surprised about that. I think, hearing in his past few interviews, I wonder if the pressure didn't get to him, because he's been claiming that, being the best in Norway and being the top Zerg, it's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and I'm wondering if that didn't kind of get to his, his nerves a little bit there. But, he's always got next time. We'll see.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, no next time in the WCS, but probably in Nordic or Norwegian, that's the word, Norwegian competitions. And right now, just recently, Nama beat Elfie, but it was a really close game.
That's what I heard. It was a 3-0 lead for Elfie, and then Nama just kind of laid the hammer down and took him out. I don't know how I feel about that, because both of these players are just so hard-working. Elfie in particular, he just hammers away on the ladder. He's always practicing. He's such a hard-working guy, and he's a lot of fun to be around too. So I was really hoping that Elfie could actually pull it through and get a win. But Nama at the same time is a phenomenal player. So seeing both of them get that far, is already a great accomplishment. Congratulations to Nama, really.
Well, he did get 3 wins.
Yeah, he did do it. Well, he did get 3 wins against him, and Nama's been training in Korea too, so he's no slouch. But we'll see how things shape up. I mean, the Swedish championships are just about to start now.
Yeah, what are your predictions for that one? The ones still eligible for winning are Sortov, Sarsane, Naniwa, Saplo and Thorsane. Who do you think will be in the top 3?
I think Sortov has been doing fantastic lately. He's looking so very strong. Of course, you have to say the favorites, though. Thorsane and Naniwa are always just so powerful. Sase's been looking exceptional as well. So, yeah, it's really hard to call. It's really going to be up in the air. If Naniwa, if he's on his game, he could potentially tear through everybody. Sase as well has been tearing through Koreans. Last MLG Performance did a phenomenal job. So, I mean, really, that's the beauty of the Swedish event in particular, is that you can't really give it away. There is no clear favorite to take the whole thing.
Yeah, it's so even. I mean, maybe it's just me, but in the matchup Saplo versus Sase, I was kind of giving the edge to Sase, but he got 2-0'd by Saplo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true as well. Saplo's been... That's the thing. They all look so good. So it's like, okay, you just got to give it to somebody. Yeah, Thorsane. Maybe he can break the EG curse. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that. But at least Thorsane and Saplo are guaranteed to go to the European Nationals. So how do you think it will be in the finals there? Do you think it'll be a lot of Swedes, or do other countries such as Ukraine or Russia have an edge too over the other countries?
I think the Swedes definitely look the strongest right now, just for various reasons. They've just been playing so great lately, Naniwa and Thorsane in particular. They're just looking so very good. And then, you have the other countries, obviously. Titan, he's awesome. He puts in so much hard work, and he took first place in his WCS. So, I mean, there's still other, tough contenders out there, but I would have to put Sweden ahead of them.
Do you think that might be because, these Swedes you mentioned, they're all in Korea? Do you think it's the Korean mindset, training so much that helps them become so good?
It's having, I think there is an edge there, because you have access to those training partners. The higher you get in the ladder, obviously, the more difficult the matches become. And especially if you have access to a training house, a training facility, you have access to those players, and it's just a massive leg up on the competition. But at the same time, it's just the hard work that you put into it. So I actually don't give that much credit to the Korean scene in that sense of training. It's really just if you put the hard work and the effort into it, you can definitely see results. We've seen that before. If you just take, for example, Scarlet, who's been trashing people left and right, and who's just been playing a lot and is new to the scene. But it's just that hard work and that work ethic that's carrying her through. So, I mean, the question was, how is the Korean scene?
Yeah. I'm not sure about the Korean scene.
I think they're just phenomenal players.
Yeah.
Whether they have access to the Korean scene or not, they're just phenomenal players who have put the hard work in, and you can tell.
Yeah, maybe it's not a lot of people here in the European scene have team houses and such. In Korea, there's this team house environment, and all the players play. So maybe that could attribute a little bit to wanting to play more.
Certainly, as well as if you're not. Well, obviously, if they're going to get this far, they are self-motivated. But having that kind of environment around you definitely helps. If you're on a low, or if you're not feeling up to practicing, etc. If your teammates are there to kind of boost you up and say, they're going to give you the confidence to be like, okay, no, if they're training, I have to train too, and that could definitely help. Those team house atmospheres are excellent. I guess if they're not in America.
Well, have you seen the GSL and GSTL results?
I didn't actually catch the GSTL results, but I did see I was able to watch the GSL Code S, and Seed he looked amazing. Like I was actually, I was really on the ropes because I'm a bit of an MC fanboy because he's always been such a powerful Protoss player, and he's actually got personality. Something that a lot of I feel pro players in general lack, but like MC really stands out from the crowd. He dances on the stage, he talks smack, like he does great interviews. Like he's really one of those guys who not only does he have the skill, but he has the personality to back it, and it's just awesome. So you feel yourself naturally rooting for him as a player. And then C just kind of comes through and reduces him to nothing. It was really quite scary to watch. I think he just took MC completely by surprise. MC was expecting something totally different from him, and he wasn't able to adjust in time. But they were phenomenal matches. Like they were really just, it was a good final, even if it was close.
Yeah, that was like Seedstrong was upset after upset after upset, and wow.
And they were like short matches too, so it was just we were having a good laugh of it because we whacked it on the TV in the living room, and it's just so brutal for GSL, for GOM and all that, because they're expecting this great hype final, and it's PvP, and perhaps it could go late game because it has been, PvP as a meta has been, making it more towards the late game lately. So you're hoping for these nice long matches for a great final, and then the games are over in like 7 or 8 minutes, and it's just like, okay, well, that's kind of brutal.
Well, it's a volatile matchup. So, do you want me to spoil the GSTL results, or do you
absolutely.
want to?
Give it to me.
Okay, would you believe me if I told you Gumiho all kill?
I would, because he's actually been playing really well lately. Is that what happened?
Correct. Gumiho all kill, taking out MMA, Coca, Puzzle, just crushing face. Must be the power of the tower, eh?
Now, did Slayers actually take any matches before that, or was it just right from the start, 5-0 win?
Gumiho was the starter for AFXO.
Oh my god. Slayers have been. They started out so strong, and now it just seems like they're kind of falling by the wayside. It's really. Obviously it's Boxer's team. You can't talk too much smack about it, but at the same time, it's like, where is that kind of momentum that they were carrying with them earlier on in the seasons? To just get all killed like that, that's brutal, and in the finals as well. Like,
it's brutal for both Slayers and GOM. Not that long final, so.
Yeah, GOM really had a rough time of it this time around. That's a bit of a shame for them. So hopefully next time they'll have better luck.
Yeah, and also moving it out to Busan, where they haven't been for like so long.
Yeah, and I noticed that the crowd wasn't quite as big, so I'm wondering if, the fact that they did move it down to Busan like that, somewhere that's relatively far from Seoul, as far as I understand, maybe not the best call, even though it was on a beach, and if you looked at the pictures, it just was like amazing. But I guess that is a shame for them. But on the same time, on the other hand, they didn't have a riot. Because there weren't enough people there to riot when the thing was over in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, can you just imagine MC fan was going, no!
Yeah, no, that's...
Or Slayers fan was for that matter. I mean, Boxer is just such a big personality in Korea.
Yeah. No, he absolutely is. And it's truly remarkable what he's done, created that team with the help of Jessica. And I'm actually kind of curious to find out, what's going on, like what's the workings with the team right now because of that recent bit of drama that we had with MMA. I'm wondering what the status is with that, especially since he actually played for them, for that team. So, or in the GSTL, he played for them.
He only got demoted to the B team. That doesn't mean he wasn't able to play. But I think, like Clyde, one of the players, he's going over to coach KT Roadster over the transition.
That's right. So. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That is one of the latest things. I think we'll talk about that on Tuesday.
Oh, really?
Well, seeing the defaction of StarCraft II pros now, who perhaps aren't doing as well as they did at the beginning, starting to go over to these big, ultra teams, obviously from Kespa, who have a lot of money to throw around and who can afford to put into coaches like that. It's cool to see that option now for players where they have a little bit more security. Used to, if you lose, if you're out, if you're done, then that's kind of it. Now they still have the option to be able to go ahead and be like, okay, I'm not doing as well. Is it time for me to retire? Yes. Okay, well, then I can still become a manager. I can still become a coach. That's something actually quite cool. So I'm glad to see Clyde actually, getting that opportunity. And everybody's always going to remember, Clyde. He's down in history in that.
Yeah, And they also picked up Genius. Did you read about that?
Yeah, I did as well. I'm actually quite happy to see Genius get picked up, just because he was kind of sitting on the ropes for a while there. You know, nobody really jumped at picking him up, despite the fact that he's a phenomenal player. He kind of sat there for a little bit, where people were wondering, is he going to get picked up? And
well, he did actually apply for Team Liquid, but he
did
get
and
rejected.
he got rejected. And yeah, that's interesting as well.
But it's a pity, because his ceremonies are just so phenomenal. They're like the ones against DRG.
He goes and like slams on the glass and stuff, and it has. That's the kind of thing you need, though. You need players with that kind of personality who are going to get you noticed, especially if they're wearing your jersey. You know, as a team, that's kind of what you're looking for. MC, I guess, is kind of held up there as like the poster boy of that sort of thing. But still, you know, like you have players like In Control and Idra, etc., who really stand out as far as personalities in the community. We need more of that. So Genius, I've always been a Genius fan in any case. So I'm glad to see him get picked up.
Yeah, me too. But I must ask something. You came from Bloodline Champions, and now you've transitioned to SE2. Which one is the favorite of the two games? Don't piss off the fanboys.
No. There's no pissing off the fanboys. Bloodline Champions is still always going to be my game. You know, it's just it's a shadow of its former self. It's not. It's changed. It's changed, and like any relationship, people change, and maybe it just didn't work out, and it's better that you separate. You're still friends, but you can still talk to each other and all that. But it's not the same thing anymore. StarCraft II is the kind of the new lady, but it's been that way for a while. Like I've been playing StarCraft II for like a year or year plus or whatever, following the scene as well. So it's just like it wasn't like it was overnight where I just fully switched over to StarCraft II. I was really interested for the longest time in both games. So StarCraft II now has kind of taken the forefront, but BLC will always be there.
Yeah, so no one-night stand with StarCraft II here.
What's that?
No one-night stand with StarCraft II here. This is a long time coming.
Yeah.
But I heard about on the Good Studio, they were talking about Reborn, like James' new project.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that you're able to share with us?
It's going to be badass. I want to play the game already, and it's, we still got a while yet to develop it. I already want to play it. It looks so much fun. That's the thing, though. We did that kind of, the last Good show we had about an hour where James kind of just like answered questions and kind of rambled.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was. But it's just, a lot of people were kind of frustrated because they weren't getting their questions answered. And, the thing is, it's too early on. Yeah. The game has only just begun, development. And so, things like physics and, kind of guns are going to be, we couldn't answer those questions. I'm sorry, guys, but, it's like we don't even know. We're still playing around with ideas in our head. James in particular, he's like still, it's still kind of taking shape. So just be patient, but it's going to be fucking worth it because the concepts and the ideas that we have are just phenomenal. It's just going to be so much fun. Like, James is such a master. Like, he's really got some good ideas.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Asking all these questions about Reborn is like saying, oh, the class is going to be imbalanced, just when seeing the trailer for StarCraft 2 almost. There's so much left to do in the game.
Exactly. That's the thing. You can't call IMBA until like a solid 2-3 months after a game's been released. And if a game is still in alpha, if it's still in development, if it's still in alpha, and if it's still in beta, you can't make any calls as far as like balance, imbalance. This is going to be unfair. This is too powerful. This is too strong, because anything can change at the drop of a hat. So those kinds of calls is really just take your panties, get them out of a bunch, and take a breath, because there's no need to get worked up about it already. Even Heart of the Swarm, we still have a while before it even gets released. So come on.
Yeah, speaking of Heart of the Swarm, they're having you can play it here.
Yeah.
Do you intend to try it out?
Yeah. Now I played it. I had my some time with it at MLG Anaheim. I got to sit with it. I was really frustrated though because there was no clock, in-game clock, and also no health bars on the units.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of just like, well, I'd love to like pay attention to these fine details, and I was playing like a couple of ZVPs where I really like to have the clock to know kind of like a guideline, etc. So I was kind of getting frustrated with that. But the units are fun. The units look cool. Some of them are gimmicky, but I think that we still have enough time where those kinds of things can be ironed out, and we'll see a pretty solid game come out.
Which unit do you reckon is your favorite among the new ones? Is it the Swarm Host, the Tempest, the Oracle?
Well, it's like the Swarm Host is like the Broodlord on the ground. That kind of unit, I'm just like meh. But like the Viper is just so ridiculously retarded that I just had so much fun like yanking units left and right with it. I was like, this
Where do you
is
think you're going?
Yeah, Kid to Candy Store. Like I want that one, and I want that Colossus, and that tank.
Get over here.
Yeah, it was so much fun. So like, but it's obviously that's so strong that they have to, I think, address it. That's one of the things where you can just be like, please don't let that get into like their actual game. But you know, still early. So, but definitely the Viper. That thing was fucking retarded.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having this interview with me. I'm all out of questions, but I had a really good time. Do you have anything to add?
Well, you know, thanks for the interview, man. And yeah, I don't know. You know, guys, just tune in at the Good Studio. Really, like we have more content on the way. We got a lot of big plans. So, you know, throughout the rest of the year is going to be a lot of fun. We got an assembly coming up next week, which is going to be insane. We got some great ideas for that. I know the guys, Trance and all that, we're not going to have any content next week in the studio because we have to pack everything up and get it over there. So they're going to spend a week setting it up. It's going to be so awesome. And yeah, so just, you know, hit us up at the Good Studio, hit us up at, you know, Twitter, Twitch, all that shit. And then, you know, watch us at assembly. And yeah.
For higher ad revenue.
Yeah, we want you.